Why are the stretching and the stability exercises in the warm-up out here at Grit? What's the point? Why take all that time? Now, we're going to get into that here in a second. That's the question we're going to explore and explain. But if you're interested in this stuff and you want an individual one-on-one assessment and health history and strategy session out here at Grit Gym with a Grit Gym coach, go ahead and click the link below, enter your information. We'll give you a call and we'll schedule a time for you to come out here and meet with us. And you're going to get a ton of value out of this. You'll never have an assessment quite like this. It is not push-ups and sit-ups and how many squats you can do in a minute. It's nothing like that. It's very beginner level friendly. We will move around a little bit, but it will not be strenuous. It's more what your alignment's like, what your joint mobility and stability is like, what your movement patterns are like, and how should we prioritize things moving forward specific to you. So anyway, if you want one of those, go ahead and click below. The reason that we do the series of foam rolling and mobility and stability and movement exercises out at Grit before we actually get into the workout is it's kind of threefold. One, and I'll go backwards. So for one, we do want to do what a normal warm-up would do, which is prepare the body for the workout so that you're less likely to get hurt, right? So you could do this. You could just walk on a treadmill for 5 minutes at a brisk, incline, and your body temperature would rise and your tissues would loosen up a little bit and you'd feel a little bit better and you'd be able to get a better workout out of it. Fantastic. But why wouldn't we just take this a step further and do some things that are going to get the heart rate to rise, but also make it so that something simple like the shoulder blade could glide around on the rib cage the way it's supposed to. The thoracic spine could get a little stretched out so that the shoulder could deliver the arm where we want it to go, the way that we want it to go. We could open up the hips a little bit with a few stretches. We could make the glutes activate a little bit more so that they are a better driver for you in your workout. We could work on the ankle a little bit so your foot is actually coming in contact with the ground better throughout the day, tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, not just during the workout. So one thing that we're doing is we're trying to optimize the body for the workout so that we get more out of the workout, but we're also trying to optimize the body so that you're less likely to get hurt when you go home, when you're walking around outside. If you were to trip and fall, you'd be more likely to be able to catch yourself. You just feel better. So that's kind of it. We're taking advantage of that time doing other exercises that are also going to raise the body temperature, but in a way that is going to make the body more primed for what we're trying to do, right? And like we talked about with the ankle, this is a very easy example. Nothing comes in contact with your environment more than your feet do. So if we're not taking care of the foot, what ends up happening? Well, it just reverberates up the chain. No good. So also we do a series of why the foam rolling? Well, foam rolling is not proven yet. It is not conclusive, but we do know a few things. We do know that it moves fluid around. And anytime that you move fluid around, your body recovers a little bit faster. There's one. Also, we know that when we put pressure on the muscle, it gives us a little bit of a greater range of motion. This is typically a very good thing. Not always, but typically a very good thing. So that is one thing. Now, let's say that we find out that it does nothing and it doesn't matter. Well, we would still use it out at Grit Gym, and there's two reasons for this. One, if you have a job that you've been sitting at for a long period of time, your back the chair has taken over the role of the core, right? So all your core muscles, your abdominals, the muscles that are protecting your spine, those are the volume is turned down significantly on those. So we need to give it the core some time to wake up. So that 4 to 5 minutes of foam rolling and rolling around the ground is going to allow that core to wake up a little bit before we actually go into our movements, therefore less likely to hurt your spine. The other thing is, let's say that you've been standing for long periods of time at work. Well, the meniscus in the knee is like this flat pad, right? And if you stand long enough, it kind of I don't know if this is a very good example, but anyway, it kind of turns into a disc like that. It kind of, after you've stood long enough. And this becomes problematic because if you go to move right away, you can actually damage that meniscus very much easier that way. So it gets us off our feet for a little while so that disc can go from being this is such a terrible example, disc like this to being flat the way that it's supposed to. So those are a couple of reasons. So we go through that foam rolling, and then we go through the mobility, and then we go through the stability to turn up the volume on the muscles and put that range of motion in concrete, which sounds funny. That's like an oxymoron. Anyway, and then we go through the movement preparation so that we're less likely to get injured while we're working out, but also we're more likely to get more out of the workout. And then also we're preventing things that could happen in the future outside of here. That's why we do the warm-up the way that we do at Grit Gym, and a lot of it just comes down to integrity. If you would like to take advantage of that free strategy session, click the link below.